Hey guys, what is up? RedPandaMining here. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing really well and having a really great day. In this video, I want to go through the hash rates specifically for this Asus Strix RTX 3080 LHR. And this is my first 3080 LHR card. And I have never gone through the hash rates, and so I am dedicating a video for this GPU, and I just want to see, you know, how it stacks up against a regular, like a non-LHR RTX 3080. Okay, and so you can see here, this ROG Strix will utilize 3 8-pins, and yeah, that is going to be probably a lot of power. And also, I do have another Asus Strix here, but this is not a 3080, this is a 3060 Ti LHR. Alright, so I will have this in another video where I do the hash rates for this one and compare it to a regular 3060 Ti non-LHR. But in today's video, it'll just be about this 3080 LHR. And so hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do not want to watch the rest of this video, I already have the Google Doc down below in the description. Check that out. You can see the hash rates there for this card and many other cards that I have tested throughout this year. Alright, so I want to explain my testing methodology here real quick. I have a dedicated 1200 watt HP server PSU with a parallel miner X11 breakout board. And I'm using, let's see, these 3 6-pin to 8-pin connectors, alright, which will go into the Asus Strix at the top here. And then I do have a 4th one which goes into the PCIe riser, which is from GPUrisers.com, their latest PCIe riser. Go check them out. Use offer code RedPandaMining for 10% off if you guys are interested in GPUrisers.com or GPUrisers.uk. And then I have another power supply which is powering my motherboard and the RAM, CPU, all that stuff, which I have 2 different watt meters, which I will show you guys in the algorithms that I'll show you today within this video. So I'm excited. I'm gonna plug this GPU into the riser, and we're gonna start off with Ethereum first, and I will show you guys the hash rate and the power consumption in 1 sec. All right, let's go. Okay, there you guys go. It is installed. It is now running. We are now mining Ethereum, so let me show you the hash rate that we can achieve right now. We are using the latest version of T-Rex Miner 0.24.7, just to show you guys right here. And there's been some optimizations, but this was released about 9 days ago as of recording right now. So anyways, here we are. We're getting about 73 to 72. I've seen the hash rate jump to 74 mega hash. So that's pretty much in line with the LHR 74 mode that we are using on T-Rex Miner, which is by default. Okay, I didn't have to put any batch file commands for LHR in T-Rex Miner. It already automatically enabled it to default at 74. So we are getting pretty much almost close to 74 mega hash, which if you guys do the math there, close to a regular non-3080 LHR, that's going to get about 100 mega hash. So it looks like it actually just says here changing the LHR tuning 74 to 74.5. So it looks like it may enable a little bit higher hash rate. Looks like it's going to go through more tuning hash rates, which is great. And so I think it's going to take a while for it to actually just settle down. But anyways, just to show you guys the temperatures, you guys can see the memory temperatures as well, 82C, 48 on the GPU, which is really low. Power consumption, the software says 239, but at the wall we are showing 244, and this does fluctuate, which is also because it is also tuning as well. And then the motherboard and rest of the stuff is about 18 watts or so. Alright, so you guys can see the power consumption, but for the GPU itself, which is pretty in line with a regular 3080 non-LHR. I do have some non-LHR 3080s that go down to like 227 watts, but it's because this Asus Strix has 6 MLCCs in the back, alright? Doesn't have any P caps. So there are some 3080s, non-LHRs, that have the P caps. I think 4 P caps and 2 MLCCs, and actually those will take less power when you're mining. But since this Asus Strix, it's a much higher end card, they put 6 MLCC chips on the back, and it's just from the factory, it takes a lot more power, it seems, from my experience that I've been testing with a bunch of different 3080s that I've had so far. But this is my first 3080 LHR, and yeah, it seems like it's definitely taken a little bit more power because of the engineering of this card. But anyways, guys, that's the Ethereum hash rate. Looks like it's creeping up to 74 mega hash, which is, yeah, 74% of the, I guess, 100 mega hash that we can get of normally on a regular 3080 non-LHR. Alright guys, let's go test out Ravencoin, and then we'll do Ergo, and then we'll do a few others really quick. Okay, here is the Ravencoin hash rate for this 3080. We're getting 47.52. It fluctuates from like 45 to sometimes 48. But yeah, it's we're at 294 watts at this settings here that I'm using in the batch file in T-Rex Miner. So we're using 1120, the absolute core clock, and also 1000 memory on the M clock there. So I'm only using 2 different batch file settings, and I'll show you guys the power consumption. It says 300, and there's the motherboard and such, as you guys can see. So you guys may be wondering, Red Panda, is that the most efficient like clocks or, you know, settings for this 3080 LHR? And from my just quick testing, I did a bunch of different power limits, and you can see here, this is the absolute core clock one, the second one here, which I'm getting roughly 47.343, but you can see all these other ones here that in terms of the hash per watt, it looks like just running it at the locked core clock 1120 seems to fare better than, in terms of efficiency, than running it, you know, regularly on the, you know, dash power limit 65, 70, 75, or 80, which you guys can see the different hash rate disparities here. I noticed though at 80 power limit I was getting generally the same hash rates as I was locking the core, but it was taking a little bit more watts, like 3 watts at the wall, for just mining Ravencoin at those settings. So anyways, that's Ravencoin. Let's go ahead and try Ergo next. Okay, there's the Ergo hash rate, getting about 201.72 mega hash, and the power consumption is 191 watts in the software, and at the wall, at the GPU only, it says 192. Alright, so that's the disparity there within the wall and at the software. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good for on Ergo, and that's the settings I'm using. The dash lock, C clock 1120, and M clock 1000. Put that in the spreadsheet. I think this is the best we can get. Maybe we can get a little bit more without using the absolute core clock, and if we use just PL. Maybe that would give us a little bit more. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to leave it at that. I think 201 is pretty good on this 3080 LHR. Alright guys, so I'm going to just now, you know, test out a bunch of other ones. Flux, Conflux, and any other algos I can find in the miner, and maybe I'll try to download some other miners and try some other coins. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so before we talk about the hash rates, I just want to have a disclaimer, which I should have mentioned earlier, but when it comes to GPU mining, remember, Silicon Lottery results may vary from GPU to GPU, so your clocks, undervolts, voltages shown in my videos may not work for you because of GPU brand, memory, manufacturing, what have you. Temperatures and cooling methods will also play the part and have an effect. Test at your own risk and do your own research. Alright, so now here is the hash rates that I have tested for the past couple hours. And yeah, the results, it's pretty similar to a regular RTX 3080, and I do have a Zotac Trinity here. And there is something that I want to talk to you all regarding the power consumption between this Asus Strix and Zotac Trinity. And that I'm going to attribute to the PCAPs or the MLCCs, as this Strix 3080 has all MLCCs, and then the Trinity that I have is all PCAPs. And as well, the boost clock on this Asus Strix V2, 3080 V2, is much higher boost clock than the Zotac, okay, of 1905 megahertz versus 1725 on the Zotac Trinity. Okay, so they have the exact same TDP according to Tech Power Up as well. So I just wanted to point that out because the Asus Strix takes about, I would say about 15 to 20 watts more across the board than the Zotac Trinity, all right? And I've also noticed this with my RTX 3090 Asus Strix cards. They take about another 20 to 30 watts more than like an EVGA RTX 3090 that has 2 MLCs and 2 PCAPs, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that this has something to do with the power consumption of the different algorithms depending on which GPUs. Anyways, guys, here's the hash rates. And like I said in the beginning, you can click in the description to see this Google Doc of all the different hash rates of different GPUs that I've tested throughout this year. A lot of them do need to be updated, so when I have time, I will do that. But anyways, if you guys can see, I tested Flux, Firo, Aion, Beam, Bitcoin Gold, Cortex, A Eternity, Ergo, which we just talked about, but you guys can see all the numbers here. I just want to go through the profitability now of, I put all my numbers into what to mine, and we're going to hit calculate. We're doing, based on the profitability past 7 days, 0.1 per kilowatt hour, and it looks like this GPU, with all the specified hash rates that I got specifically into what to mine, looks like Conflux has been just a tad bit more profitable than mining Ethereum. But overall, though, I think Ethereum is probably going to be the top dog still for a while, up until ETH 2.0. You guys know that's probably less than a year away. And yeah, I mean, this RTX 3080 is still going to be great for mining the other algorithms that are going to be out there. But whether or not it's going to be profitable when that time comes, when Ethereum goes to proof of stake, that begs the question, right? That's the $1 million question right there. So anyways, guys, yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. There's the hash rates. There's the profitability. As of now, it is November 22nd. As of recording this video, I just want to make sure I tag that in so I can see this in case in the future that this 3080 may be, you know, we're not going to see Ethereum at the top of the charts here anymore. It's going to be like Beam or something, or Aion, or who knows, Ethereum Classic. We're really not sure when that time comes because it's going to depend on the prices and the network difficulties as everyone moves over from Ethereum. All right, my friends, let me know your thoughts. I think this 3080 is great. It's definitely on the more expensive side when I bought this. I mean, that's a given because this is a higher end card in my opinion. Asus ROG Strix cards are definitely a lot more sought after. These are really nice coolers, and you guys saw my temperatures here. It did not thermal throttle at all. Like, this GPU stays extremely cool with, I guess, the settings. Even when I was running at stock, it was not too bad. It was actually quite high on Flux, I guess, when I was running it on stock. But yeah, Conflux as well. I guess, yeah, running it at stock, the temperature will definitely go up higher than 60. And if I had this in a rig, it would definitely get a lot hotter, in my opinion. Probably the memory temperatures and the GPU die temperature would go up to like maybe 65, 70. And then the memory temperatures would probably go over 100 if I had 6 of these in one rig. But this thing is just by itself, right? It's just by itself. Okay, my friends, let me know your thoughts about this card, and let me know what overclocks and stuff you guys get, depending which model you have. I'd really love to know. And okay, I appreciate you all. Have a good one, and peace out.